call the Cottrellville Township Board meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a moment of silence in honor of all these COVID people that are ill. Okay, we're not going to be able to welcome our new treasurer because she's in attendance this evening. She had another family emergency. How about roll call attendance?
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Here.
Okay. We have the agenda before you, plus I have a couple of other things. Consent agenda C2, approval of clerk's reports. We're going to do a change in C, number 1, account payables. I've given you an invoice from UHY LLP. It's formerly the Stewart, Bouvet, and Whipple CPAs. They have been bought out by this national company, and the bill is for $500. There's also new business. We'll have a workshop and a public hearing on a special meeting on Wednesday, July 15th. That's a week from today at 7 o'clock to approve the budget for year ending 3/31/2021. And number 9 under new business would be request for approval for Leo's Pest Control. We've got 3 bids or 3 quotes for the work around the building here, the playground, and the garage, and so forth. And under announcements, there'll be a planning commission tomorrow night if you're interested in attending, and I'll go through that when we have it. Okay, the rest of it is pretty normal. The board minutes, the revenues and expenditure report, payroll checks, the accounts payable amount, correspondence from the Marine City Fire Authority and Ira Township, and the invoice for Fifth Third Bank. We have the COVID 2020-05B returning to work plan. We have COVID-19 2026 2006 requesting money. Also out of the current budget to save in anticipation of revenue sharing shortages. We have approval COVID Resolution 2007, request to resume normal business for late fees and so forth with the water and sewer. And the rest of it is resignation in addition to employment. We have a contract with DPW Chris Hilton to do the Silversmith data that we went over last month, and he's here tonight to give us a hand with that. And we have the clerk asking for a computer for the elections. So, if we can, if there's anything else anybody else wants to add or delete from the agenda, otherwise I'm anticipating a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the additions.
I'll make the motion.
I have a second.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented with the additions. All in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, please.
Sue?
Aye.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Marilyn is excused. Okay, let's start off with the agenda. We got the board minutes of June 10th. We have the revenue and expenditure report beginning June 1st to ending June 30th. It's about 25 pages. The approval of paychecks, payroll date from June 1st to June 30th in the amount of $19,784.56. We have accounts payable, $1,709.69, and that's opens to be paid through from June 1st to the 30th, and an additional $77,048.56 that's already been paid in the amount of 34 checks. Checks number 20460 through 20493. We have correspondence of the Marine City Fire Authority runs for June from both Marine City and from Ira Township. And we have a copy of an invoice from Fifth Third Bank for the credit card account in the amount of $234.62. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, is there any questions? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please, because we're spending money.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Sherry? Yes. Marilyn's absent.
motion carried. Thank you very much. We have open session. Anyone in the audience consisting of one person? If, Mr. Barnes, do you have anything you have to say, sir?
No.
Okay, very good. All right, let's go on then with unfinished business. Yeah, it's 7:35. The first one is the approval of the COVID-19 Resolution 2005B, returning to work plan dated June 30th, which was tabled from last month's meeting. Is there anybody that wants to read that or have any questions about it or concerns or? Let me find it here. It's a resolution to approve the reopening of the Cottrellville Township offices, allowing staff to report on the 8th day of June 2020 per the designation of Governor Whitmer's executive order of 2020-110 dated June 1st. The COVID-19 resolution is laying out the parameters of what the public is to expect for the township offices to return to work. And it lists the things that we've done. Since we've written this, we put the deputy treasurer felt we should have another drop box because people are still banging on our window when they come, when we don't get to the door in 30 seconds or less. And so we come up with a cart that she rolls out in the morning with another drop box on it, and it's as big as life. It's just, you know, if you're not grabbing for the door handle quickly, you're going to hit this thing, so you're going to not miss it. People were still coming and wanting to come in and you know, we can't exchange cash. We take checks. There's envelopes out there. If you want to put money in the envelope and put your name on it, seal it up with a copy of your invoice or however you want to do it. If you want to have your invoice mailed back to you, please bring a stamp address, self-addressed envelope and wrap that up in that envelope too and give it to her. She'll be happy to send your receipt back. But we can't afford to send it out 2 and 3 times for people that are, you know, paying water bill one week and the next week the taxes, and we can't get eaten up with postage like that. So that's the only other suggestion, and I didn't put it in this because Nicole and I kind of come up with that the other night, so this was already prepared. Let's see, what else was there? There's only one person to handle each job, and each person works in their office at least 6 feet apart. Anyone who may share an office with another, masks and either gloves or hand sanitizer, and frequent hand washing will be the plan of the further notice. Further resolved that Township Board, Township of Cotterville, County of St. Clair, that we mentioned these above. Let's see, did I do anything here at the? No, I think we went through all that last week. Okay, course of public hours with appointment times in the lobby only. That's been working out pretty good, except when you get 2 people in the entry at one time, and there's a rather large, colorful sign out there that says, please, only one person, because you only got a 4-foot square area to stand. So with that, if you want to make a motion, we'll entertain a motion to approve COVID-19 resolution number 2020-05, Be Like Boy. Also move.
The meeting before the election, we're going to revisit this, it says, and make sure this is what we're going to do for payment for the treasurer. See how it's working.
I'm not hearing what you said.
It says in here, before the election, we'll revisit this. And
Yes, the cost,
so that'll be in
it would be in probably like September or October.
October's, okay.
Yeah. Help me remember that, Sherry.
I think you might be looking at the next.
Yeah, that's the next resolution.
Oh, is it the next
Yeah.
resolution?
Yeah.
You're on the wrong page,
Go
Tom.
back a couple pages.
That was originally in this one,
Yeah.
and then it got taken out and put in a different.
No, the opposite way.
Can't go the opposite way unless we put it together wrong, because that's all.
Oh. Did you miss one?
Somebody wanted me to get one, I guess. I didn't get one. I don't know what's in your place.
you got 6 there. You
No.
got B there.
Okay, I
Okay?
skipped too far.
That's the one we're working on right now.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right, no problem. All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve COVID-19 Resolution 2020-05B like boy. All in favor signify by saying aye. By roll call vote, please.
Sue,
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Tom,
Yes,
Sherry? Yes.
Lynn is
Lynn
excused. Motion carried. Now we'll go on to that next one. Now, before you get that, these top two papers that came in were given to us last week when Nicole, I think she gave me 4, and I think I've used the 2 ones I've highlighted for you so you can see what the projected, the one dated September 2019 is in the lower left-hand corner. We were supposed to put $312,618 in our projected 2020 budget. And with this COVID thing, now they've adjusted it as of May 15th, that Cottrellville is supposed to receive $300,701. And we just got one that Nicole gave me today. This is for the month of March and April, and it was $44,696, so it's about $8,000 short. So it's not quite as serious as we thought it was. So what we did was, this is for the 2020-06 is for the reopening. And the request is to cut money out of the current budget in anticipation of shortages of the Michigan State revenue funding for the next few months. Whereas Cottrellville Township has been honoring the governor's mandate of no public meetings, and because we are still operating under this mandate until July 15th, 2020, we can now return to work. Whereas there is only one person to handle each job, and each job works in their office at least 6 feet away. Anyone who may share an office with another, masks and either gloves or hand sanitizer and frequent hand washing will be the plan until further notice. Whereas the drop box off the driveway parking lot and a second drop box that will be directly on the porch of the entry door on a cart will be dragged in and out by the last person who leave the building for the day, and will be utilized to save on personal contact with customers who are dropping off payments, building permits, PRE documents, applications for building, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical permits. Whereas trustee Susan Biscorner at May's meeting wanted it brought to the attention of the board and our constituents that our revenue sharing that we normally receive every 2 months would be somewhat depleted due to COVID-19 for the next 1 or 2 months. Each payment is usually approximately $50,000 plus. County treasurer advised both our previous treasurer and our deputy treasurer during the conference call that for the next couple of payments to expect the revenue to be down approximately $11,917 short. That's the documents that Nicole gave us last month that I highlighted on those first 2 pages. In an effort to help reduce the proposed budget for the current fiscal year with the COVID-19 reduction of hours worked by our previous treasurer, we propose to complete this term for the next new treasurer with a $3,000 salary and a saving of approximately $375 per week, or $9,750 for the next 6 months, saving on the previous treasurer's wages balance for this year as $12,750. Prior to the election, we will look again at the adjusted gross of $12 per year for possible treasurer's wages from then on. With this calculation, we are within $833 of balancing, and it would not be necessary for anyone to take a pay cut of 10% or $1,979 per pay period. Whereas since our new treasurer, Marilyn DeLugie, was appointed and agreed in writing to work a new adjusted salary of 4 hours per week at $28.85 per hour, or $230.80 per pay period, $3,000 for the balance of the term starting May 26th through November 20th, agreeing to work 2 days out of 4, 2 days of Marilyn and 4 days for Nicole, plus any time she, deputy treasurer, needs to balance out at the end of every other day, up to but not to exceed 25 hours per week, in 50 per pay period. The new treasurer will keep track of her hours so that we can adjust her check in the last quarter of this year. The treasurer will have the choice of her deputy treasurer during office hours at the same time as herself, such as to roll delinquent water bills over winter taxes, unpaid water, unpaid assessments, unpaid building permits, electrical, mechanical, building permits, etc., plumbing permits. Setting up summer and/or winter tax bills for the printer. It will be the call of the treasurer to request her deputy's assistance to this help with any particular projects. Whereas there is no physical or face contact by the deputy treasurer with the customers except what is dropped off into the outside drop box. The deputy treasurer will balance the money received and see that no more than one deposit per week will be made at the bank unless the drop-off is at the request of or provided by by the treasurer. So we are asking for this resolution to be accepted. Be it resolved that the Township Board authorizes the opening of the township offices with the above-mentioned articles of personal protective equipment during the course of the open public offices with appointment times in the lobby only. Shall we approve this resolution 2020-06? Also move. Do we have a second?
We're gonna talk about it at the meeting before the, I'll second it.
Okay. Do we have any discussion?
I just have one question.
Well, Tom had one first, so.
Yeah,
No,
I thought you were gonna talk about,
Did you have a question?
no, just that we're gonna revisit it before the election.
Oh, yes, that one we're gonna, yes. What were you gonna say, Nicole?
Just not knowing what's going on with the whole situation with Maryland right now too, and being that it is a crazy busy time right now with taxes, water bills, and special assessments, if there is by chance, I mean, if I work over 25, I don't anticipate I will, but should there be a
You
chance?
will be paid. You will be paid. Just,
Do I come to you guys and?
you're gonna have to let me know if you get close to 80 in that 2-week period.
Oh, I don't.
And if there is, then we're gonna pay you in comp time. Did you hear me?
Yeah,
We're gonna pay you in comp time, so you won't be paid, but you will get time off and you'll be, be a regular check for you.
okay.
You know what I mean?
If you get to 40 per week.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Okay? We can't go over 40 a week,
right,
so,
no.
okay?
I've never done that before, but just.
No,
knowing
but
there's-
but who knows what's gonna happen, like you
Yeah,
say.
we're sort of,
The job still has to be done, and you're the only one that can do it if Lynn isn't here, so. Any other questions?
yeah. Yeah, the way that this is written is almost the same as it was last time. And really, we've already agreed to Marilyn working till November and getting this paid. So that really doesn't have to be in there. But I think then as soon as the election comes along, whoever comes in as treasurer should start at what the wage was. So I don't see where we have to review it. We shouldn't be reviewing it.
Well, we're gonna review it because we gotta keep it cut. And
Well,
it's-
then we
it's-
should cut everybody.
No, you don't understand how this works. There isn't the need to be paying both of those girls the same amount of money when this one is working almost 40 hours a week and that one is not.
But it doesn't always work that way.
No, it doesn't, but it does between the treasurers and the clerks.
So this is a yearly wage that you give them. You can't take them down to 12,000 or, anybody that runs for treasurer, what's their pay gonna be?
We're gonna decide that in September. But I would think around 12,000. If they're only gonna be, if, as long as Nicole stays with us and she's doing the work, she's gonna be making up the difference in the hours. You see what I mean?
But a treasurer isn't gonna come in where she could've made 30, or he could've made 30-some thousand, and now he's gonna get 12.
Well, it's only 25.5, but if you're,
Oh, it's 25.5?
yeah, it's
Oh.
a lot of money and then we spent a lot of money training the other one. This one spent her whole life training Kathy.
Well, yeah, I
And-
know.
And that's why we're compensating her for whatever hours she needs to work to do the job if Lynn can't be here.
But I
She was
know-
only working 4 hours a week. That's
But I-
what she wants.
But I know when Kathy didn't have problems, she was in here quite a few hours. So what would she have been making per hour if she
She's
only got?
making the same amount, $28.85 is the amount
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, you just asked me what the hourly rate is. It's $28.85.
No, I'm saying what would she be paying or be making an hour if she was making 12,000 and was doing the same hours that Kathy was doing? Because Kathy worked a lot of hours. But,
She worked normal hours up until, when she had the.
yeah. So, which is what all your wages are based on, the regular hours.
Well, let's get this thing handled the way it is, and we'll discuss it in September. That's what I'm thinking, so.
I think Sue's probably just anticipating anybody, we're getting short to the time for anybody to file. If they're only gonna be getting 12,000, they're not gonna bother.
Okay, well, they might not bother, but for 4 hours a week, I suppose that's not too bad money.
Yeah,
If they understand it's for 4 hours a week.
right. If the
That's what
next
they're gonna be
one-
told,
Yeah.
yes, when
Okay.
we explain the duties.
The duties, and then
Right,
your duties is to pick up what they're not doing, so that's where your pay comes in.
right.
Okay? All right, we have a motion on the floor. Anybody else got anything else to say? I didn't mean to shut you off. You got anything? You guys? No? All right. COVID-19 Resolution 2020-06. Shall we, is this to be approved? All in favor signify by saying aye. By roll call vote, please.
Sue?
No.
Tom?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Now, let's go to the next one, which is COVID-19 Resolution 2020-07. This is a resolution to revoke the allowance of the waiving of late fees and water and sewer bill late fees and penalties, and revoke suspension of shut-off notices for water for citizens in our community during the COVID response period. Since Governor Whitmer has opened up by phases our particular area with Township Board hereby suspends and revokes the COVID-19 Resolution 2020-02 with the signing of this resolution, COVID-19 Resolution 2020-07. Whereas the Cottrellville Township Board has been honoring the governor's mandate of no public meetings, and because they were still operating under this mandate until July 15th, 2020, whereas at this time the Township Board sees fit to return to normal invoice charges, late payments, and shut-off notices for Cottrellville Township residents. With this COVID-19 resolution, we are hereby revoking the COVID-19 Resolution 2020-02, which was initiated and executed on May 13th, 2020, with the issuance of water and sewer invoices for residents of Cottrellville for the second quarter of 2020, with the late fees on water and/or sewer bills were resumed for invoices of normal business for the April, May, June quarter of 2020, and we shall resume shut-off notices and shut-offs beginning July 1st, 2020. At the regular meeting held on July 8th, these people were present at the board. Shall we approve the COVID-19 Resolution 2020-07? I'll so move. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2020-07, which supersedes COVID-19 2020-02 dated May 13, 2020. All in favor signify by saying aye. By roll call vote, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Sherry? Yes.
motion carried.
Absent.
Thank you very much. Our next item is a resignation letter that we accepted, that we can accept the resignation of Mr. Daniel Schutt, who was assessing office tech effective June 23rd, 2020. I've given you a copy of the letter. We need a motion to approve to accept his resignation, and place it on file.
I'll make the motion to approve this letter.
I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you. The next item is replacing that person now. It's a memo from Barbara Schutz. She wrote, "With the resignation of Daniel, I've requested to have someone to replace him. I didn't have to search for long, as it was suggested that I ask Kathy Harris if she would be interested. She agreed to take his place. Daniel was a minimum wage employee at $9.65 an hour. He worked on average of 12 and a half hours, which equaled $120.63. We divide the $120.63 by Kathy's current hourly rate of $15. She can work 8.04 hours without spending more money. Kathy would work Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. and then begin her job in the building department through her regular schedule. 8 hours at $15 per hour is $120 per week. We're saving 63 cents. This saves the township advertising for the position, and we're already well aware of Kathy's attendance and work ethics. It will not interfere with the building officials' work, and since we both use assessing and building, she is well trained in both BS&A modulars. It's my request to the board to increase the hours for Kathy to accommodate this work schedule to assist me in my office. Respectfully submitted, Barb Schutt. Do we have a motion to approve the hiring or the extending of Catherine Harris's timesheet to include 8 hours per week for being the assistant office tech in the assessing department under Barb Schutt? Also move. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Sherry? Yes.
Lynn is excused. Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, the next item is, we have DPW Superintendent Chris Hilton here to review and pay for the contract for this service on Silversmith. Do you want to just kind of explain what the difference is in these two items? And I've given them a copy of what you've given me, so.
Yep, you got a copy of the Silversmith. And then that'll basically be taken over for the Esri.
Could you go to the mic, please?
Yeah, go up to the microphone, I'm sorry.
The request you have in front of you is for Silversmith software. That's going to be taking place of the Esri software. And also in that request is there's a request for a tablet and a GPS locating device. So that'll be what we use to go out and shoot the rest of the items that are not going to be in the GI or that are not compiled in GIS. Some of the little things that we haven't seen or found yet. The stuff you approved last time, they're about 75% of the way through with all the locating of the water and sewer assets. We should be real close on that. This is just that second part that I told you that we're going to be coming to you with. This puts all that information into one place, into one tablet, basically where it's going to be. But it's not just going to be tablet, it's going to be web-based, cloud-based, so it'll be accessible on our phones, computers here in the office. It can be, anybody can have access to it, so whoever needs access, if clerk's department needs access, treasurer needs access.
This also puts ours together with the other program, right? Except,
Yeah, it'll take
that
all
over.
our sewer data from the Esri software, all that'll be
Okay.
put into the Silversmith software, and then
all
that'll
right, so it'll all be on one place.
Yep, it'll all be in one place
Okay,
going forward.
the other one was $3,000 a year for a maintenance. This one is $1,000 a year for the maintenance. So we do get a new tablet with this that's $2,800 or the 54. So, but from now on, instead of getting a bill for $3,000, we're going to get a bill for $1,000. That saves us $2,000. Does anyone have any questions? Concerns? All right, I entertain a motion to pay this bill of $5,400 for Silversmith for the service agreement and the tablet.
Is there any type of warranty or insurance if the tablet gets damaged, or does that happen? It's just a question.
It's a tool, so yeah, it could happen for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, the tablet, once it's populated and the data's on there, it can be insured under any of the township's policy, I'm assuming, as maybe laptops, computers are, I don't know what's involved.
Can that also be converted to your cell phone then?
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. It'll be on our cell phones. This will be what we use more often than anything. The tablet will probably be sitting here on the desk.
For our
in there.
use.
and you guys can use it, and then we may use it out in the field, but honestly, when we get called in for misdigs or any kind of staking or anything, we're just gonna pull it up on our phone, so it's,
All right. Do we have a second to my motion?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes. Lynn's excused.
thank you.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, the next item is the request by Clerk Quinn in order to purchase a computer for the elections, which is a Windows 10. I've included a copy of a message she got from election data in Michigan, the QVF. They pretty much told her, if you've read it, is that they just realized that we didn't have this. This was in April, and they can't refresh Windows 7 anymore, so it has to have a 10. Then we researched it to see if they would think of allowing us to put Windows 10 on the machine we have already, and they said because of the age, it would be good for about a year, and then it wouldn't be worth it. So we will be purchasing a new unit for $738. They thought that $200 spending on attempting to install it on an older computer was stupid. So, do we have a motion to approve spending $738 out of the budget for elections for Sherry?
I'll make a motion to buy a new computer.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to spend money, please. Roll call vote by
Mary Agnes?
yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes. Lynn's excused.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. We have another item, cost for a grave. We had a citizen whose wife was suffering from fourth-stage cancer, and her request to be buried alongside of her mother and her dad and her uncle. There is one more grave there. It's not spoken for on the record, and a probe in the area indicated that there was no body there. Checked that myself. We have not sold a grave in that cemetery in the past 17 years, nor buried anyone that has not had a receipt to prove that they own it, or it's in their family surrounding the graves. In researching the cemetery ordinance, there was never a schedule of costs for selling graves, probably because it was thought there would be no more for sale in that graveyard. With each grave I'm inquired about, I organized by block, and I placed them on the grave lot number and the grave site on an individual page with their recorded name, date of birth, date of death, as well as compiling this to be part in a binder so that it will be for posterity. It's my request that we establish a one-time sale for this gentleman for his wife in a full burial, and his future demise for him to lay on top of her in cremains. She is in hospice. My suggestion is that we sell the grave in block number 19, section 2, grave 5, to Daryl and Linda Chisnall, Chisnall, for their final resting place. I also serve on the cemetery board for Our Lady on the River Parish, cemeteries for Holy Cross and St. Catherine's, and they sell graves for $600. Maple Grove sells their graves for $800, and the price is going to $900 after 12/31/2020. If we could offer him his grave in the range of $600 to $800, I'll compile a list of all the cemetery charges so that you can review this at a later date and prepare a resolution to offer graves on a schedule to see what others are offering in our area, and it can be updated from time to time in the future by resolution. Do I have permission to sell this grave to them? It was suggested by Treasurer Marilyn Dulugi that we average it to $700 and sell it to him for $700. Do I have a motion to approve that, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the sale of the grave
For $700?
for $700.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes. Lynn's excused.
Motion carried. Thank you very much, because his wife passed away over the weekend,
Oh,
and this funeral is Friday. So, we'll take care of that. Thank you very much. All right, let's see here. We're going to have our special meeting on Wednesday, July 15th at 7 o'clock to approve the budget for the year end. We'll go through the thing one last time and approve it for, on the record with public hearing. Anyone that wants to attend can do so. We will probably have that paperwork on the website so that people can follow along if they want to zoom in and watch us. Do we have a motion to approve that meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. We also have a request from Leo's Pest Control for wasp and bug control again in Cottrellville Township Park on Shortcut Road. There's quotes for actually 3 jobs. I wrote 2. Inside the township hall and inside the garage is $385. Outside of the township hall and around the garage is $600. Township park playground equipment in the pavilions is $275. We can approve those all in one group if you want. They've been doing it now for about 6 years. All in favor of anyone that wants to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, do we have a second? I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Sue,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes,
Sherry, yes. Lynn's excused.
motion carries. Thank you very much. Under announcements, we have the Township Planning Commission is hosting a public hearing and a meeting tomorrow night, Thursday, July 9th at 7 o'clock at the request of Mr. Dan Vanderviver to build a barn on Marine City Highway, 72 feet by 80 feet, and to be used as an indoor sports arena, primarily for the baseball training of Little League teams. He meets all the requirements, however, our ordinance requires that he be approved by the Planning Commission with site plan approval for parking, green belts, and any other regulations like, hours of operation that the Township Planning Commission wants to set up. This man has been a coach, I think, for 10 years, for Little League Marine City. This is something he's doing out of the goodness of his heart. He's got it set up so that he bought the entire tract of land from the front of Marine City Highway all the way back through where he lives on Arnold Road. So it's a full 20-acre part that limits, it releases the limit of having the size of the barn he can have, any size he wants. So, and Bill Clausen said that he meets all the other regulations as far as the barn's concerned, but he does need Township Planning Commission approval for him to issue a permit, so. He has turned in his land use application based on large recreation area and all the regulations that had been included in that packet, and we sent to all the board members on the Planning Commission, plus we sent out letters to everyone within 450 feet of the land on both sides of the road, plus across into China Township, because he's on that border.
Where's that?
It's on Marine City Highway between, what would you say that is?
Is that part of the Cottrell?
I don't think so.
It goes all the way through?
Because if it's going to,
Well, he's got a house there already.
if it's going to Arnold, Plank Road runs to,
Is it Plank instead of Arnold?
Yeah, it's not
well,
Arnold.
Plank
All right.
Road's next, yeah.
Okay, so it's probably Plank Road then. His address
Okay.
must be on Plank, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah. It's a 20-acre stretch, 20 point something that he bought. He bought the property, most of it is on, I think it's 15 acres that he just recently purchased, and then he added the two together. So it's one contiguous parcel of property, which makes it
Is he
farmland.
gonna have to do well and?
Yep, well and septic.
All
and
the whole thing,
Yep.
yeah.
If he's gonna have bathrooms and stuff in there, yes.
Nice.
Okay, that's all I need to tell you. If you want to attend the meeting, it's tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. All right, do we have any board member comments?
Are you gonna announce about the election?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot that. COVID-19 guidelines and election days. We have Deputy Treasurer, or Deputy Clerk, Michelle App is gonna read that into the record, so that was prepared by Nicole.
The COVID-19 guidelines. We are limiting in-person contact until further notice. If you must come into the office, you must bring or wear a mask and will go through proper COVID screening to enter. One person allowed in the lobby at a time. Payments of any type, building permits, election forms, and ballots can all be put in our locked drop boxes, which are checked daily. Please try to use an envelope when dropping off payments or secure your check to the invoice so we can properly credit your account. If paying cash, no change can be given, so any overage will be applied as a credit to your account. As always, credit cards can be processed by phone or online through our website. Your canceled check serves as your receipt along with the top portion of your bill. No receipts will be given unless you indicate on your payment and enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope. And on to election days. To protect ourselves and the Cottrellville Township residents during the election days, we are following strict COVID-19 guidelines for voting days. We suggest during this pandemic time to vote by absentee ballot for safety reasons and to avoid delays at the polls. If voting in person, please be prepared to bring and wear a mask when you come in to vote. We will have election workers directing people as we are limiting the amount of people inside the building at once. We will be practicing social distancing between voters with 6-foot markings on the floor. Our election workers will be sanitizing all voting booths and materials in between each voter, so you may experience some delays.
Both of those messages, as I said, were prepared by our deputy treasurer. She had them printed on the back of everyone's tax bill. So if you didn't get the message here, at least you've got a paper at home that had your tax bill on it. So, and it's on the back. Okay, do we have any action or any activity as far as comments from our audience? Any other board comments?
Well, I was gonna say, when I came to get the agenda the other day, there was a man here, didn't have an envelope, had checks. So she came to the door and took care of him. But in the meantime, there was a lady came along and she doesn't have credit cards and she doesn't write checks, and so all she did was cash. So how does she handle that in the future?
Well, we've been fighting with them, not really fighting, but trying to direct people to read the signs and have them put it in an envelope. And then since then, we did put some envelopes out there because people come and say, I don't have anything. Even if you don't have the bill, if you put your name or address on the envelope and then put it in there, it'll get credited. You know, the whole point of this is to limit face-to-face contact.
Right,
And handling money.
but she just had cash.
Yeah,
And she said that's the only way she pays anything, which is different. Well,
well,
there's always
even
money
if you have
orders.
to go get cash out, you can buy a money order.
Yeah.
Because you don't do check.
So they'd have to go get money orders and do what they
Yeah,
have to do.
it's,
Yeah,
even a
I,
cashier's check. If you're getting money out at the bank, you can get a cashier's
Yeah.
check. And normally they won't charge you if it's, you know, from your own account. So, and the other thing is with tax bills, we cannot accept cash over, because you just can't overpay on your taxes and have it go towards the next one.
right,
So that would require us to, you know, refund the money, and we have an ordinance, if it's under $5, we don't refund it. So for the tax bill, try to have it exact.
It's pretty important.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
water bill, we can credit it to your account for the next billing period.
yeah, I know. She seemed to have a problem, and I told both of them, there is a button there with for the bell.
Yeah.
Because a couple times before that, people are just sitting up there.
Right.
And it's like there's the doorbell.
The problem is if they say they put 20 in, and it's only, put 15 in, then
Yeah.
it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you should have a check or
Right.
money order.
Yeah, the only problem is, because of the state mandate, we can't say no cash. I mean, we discourage it, but
Right, but money's money. and-
yeah,
Yeah,
you take your own risk of,
right,
doing
right.
it.
I've been in a couple grocery stores, and if you go through the self-check, you can't, they're not doing money. Because
Right.
there's a worldwide coin shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
This
so
morning.
all you people, take all your coins that you've been saving, take them to the bank.
I know.
Because they're somewhere. Where'd they all go?
Well, I found a penny. I was changing my porch or something. And I cleaned the dirt off it in 1947, so it's been there for a while.
Well, I heard the mints shut down during this COVID, so they weren't, producing anymore. And people weren't allowed to take any of their change to like those coin stars that go back into the system.
Oh, okay.
So there's where your shortage is,
Oh.
so they say, but
It's not 3 coffee cans.
I know there's. Just take your cans back.
Can't only take 25 at a time.
I know.
I got 2 garbage cans full.
Oh my gosh, I got
They're not beer cans either, Tom. They're pop. All right, well, if we have nothing else, I entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays, hearing none, motion carried. Thank you very much, everybody.